So which one of these is the odd one out? The birthday cake candle, the candy cane, the jack-o'-lantern, or the dyed egg? I'll give you a minute to think. I'll give you a minute to think. I'm gonna do inaudible whispers in between each question. Inaudible whispers in between each question. this one, I've got the orange square, and I colored it in right there, right there. And last but not least, I have a yellow square that I colored in right over here. So I'm going to give you guys a second to study this pattern and try to come up with the next pattern. So you will be coming up with the location of the next square as well as the color. So color and location. And I'm just gonna ramble about random things while you do that. So today has been kind of a rainy day. It's been raining all day long, but I did get some grocery shopping done. And I went to Trader Joe's and got some tangerine juice, which is just amazing. I love it so much. Let's move on to question number 2. Okay, so here we've got question number 2. I've got 3 boxes. Well, yeah. And then within those boxes, there are boxes, and I have colored in certain boxes on here. So this one right here, you have a blue box here and a blue box there. And then over here, we've got a blue box here and then a blue box there. And then for this one, we've got a blue box right over there. Color does not matter for this one. Everything is going to be blue. But I do want you to determine the location. So, what is the next step in this pattern? Well, there are a lot of cars outside tonight. So I have a feeling it might get a little bit loud at some point, which I really hope it doesn't, but I feel like there's a party going on outside. I heard a bunch of voices earlier, and sometimes my neighbors like to do parties, and even though it's a weekday, I don't know if it's like, I don't know if it's a holiday, I don't know what's going on, but I'm hearing some things outside, so we shall see. Okay, let's move on to the next question, and if you do need more time for this one, then please feel free to pause the video and take as long as you need. So pausing the video is absolutely a-okay. So now this one is question number 3. And in question number 3, we have 2 things that you need to determine. I drew the squares and the hearts in different locations, and there's a bit of a pattern as to when they appear. So you need to figure out the pattern for the square, and then you need to figure out the pattern for the heart to determine where they will be appearing next. So I'll let you guys figure that out, and I will be talking about, let's see, what do I want to talk about today? At Trader Joe's, I also got these Norwegian sourdough rye bread chips, and it's so good. I really like them. I've been into sourdough a lot lately. Trader Joe's also has sourdough bread, but like this, it's shaped like the sandwich bread, and it's just as soft as the sandwich bread, and it's so good. I made a grilled cheese with that today, and I had some tomato soup as well. sells these cherry ices, and I've really been wanting some lately, but it's so cold, it's so cold, it's so cold. I'm wearing long sleeves in my video today, and I have not worn long sleeves since last winter. So it's absolutely cold. It's freezing up here. I turned the heater off earlier, so it won't disturb us too much in this video. Yeah, I am roses, panda, school, salty, coconut, Canada, sprinkles, airport, popcorn, syrup, blue, emotional, and birthday. Now it is time to write down what you remember. You can go ahead and just jot it down, and I'm going to be quiet. so much background noise today. So much background noise today. It's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy how much background noise there is today. It's actually nighttime. It's actually nighttime. Clean. Don't forget which one you're meant to be looking at, okay? Clean. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and put these away. And now we're going to get into the answers portion. Okay, first of all, you guys worked so hard on this IQ test, and I want to congratulate you for making it all the way through. I am so proud of you for just making it all the way through the test. It does not matter how many correct answers that you got. I came up with these questions, and I mean, there can be more than one right answer at times, right? Because we all think differently, so don't stress about it. But I am going to go over the answers right now, and you guys can kind of see what I was thinking when I made this. So this very first question for the first section of the test, the odd one out section. So the odd one out for this one is going to be the birthday cake candle. And the reason why is that all of the other ones in my head are associated with holidays. So the candy cane is associated with Christmas, and the jack-o'-lantern with Halloween, and then the dyed egg with Easter. But birthday is not necessarily a holiday, and I specified that this was a birthday cake candle, unless your birthday happens to be on a holiday and you are the exception. But typically, birthdays are not holidays, so yeah, that one is the odd one out. Now, for this picture, the odd one out is going to be the fan, because the fan is the only object here that you cannot put directly onto your body. Glasses you can wear, the winter hat you can put on your head, and then the sunscreen you put on your skin. But the fan is the only object that you're not putting directly onto your body, so that's why that one is the odd one out. Now, for this question, the answer is red. Red is the odd one out because it is the only primary color here. The other colors are not primary colors. So that is why red is the odd one out, because you need yellow and blue to make green, red and blue to make purple, and then you need yellow and red to make orange. But red is a primary color, so red is the odd one out. Now for this picture, the pizza is the odd one out, and the reason why is because all of these other foods are no-cook foods. So you can just make the peanut butter and jelly without cooking anything. You can grab the crackers and cheese without cooking anything. You can make the salad without cooking anything. But you have to cook the pizza, so that's the reasoning for that one. For this one, the odd one out is going to be the lemon. It is the only citrus fruit here, and it is also extremely tart in comparison to the rest of these fruits. So yeah, that is the reason why lemon is the only citrus fruit here. Lemon is the only citrus fruit here. It is the only fruit that is so sour that a lot of people don't eat it just by itself. I know people do eat it by itself, but I'm saying I know a lot of people don't eat lemon by itself, but they will eat a kiwi, pineapple, or honeydew also spraying it on my hand like this. I tapped on it. And then I also scratched this part. And I made some lid sounds. For the next trigger, I had this popcorn squishy. You didn't necessarily have to say that it was a popcorn squishy because, you know, how are you going to know what kind of squishy it was? But I was making some sticky sounds. And then I was also squeezing it. And doing that, so that was the next trigger. Then for trigger number 5, I actually had this lotion